All right, Inspire Beauty, we are recording. Happy Monday. Let me make sure that I'm opening up the right screen for us. Let's pop over here. Awesome. And actually, they have a new presentation mode now. Let's see how this works. I've never tried this, and I'm going to try it with you guys tonight. So we'll see. Okay. Screen sharing has stopped. The shared window closed. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't want me to do that. Can you guys see? Or you just see me now? You just see me now? Okay, let me escape out of that. And I will download like I usually do. These are things I cannot practice until I'm on with you. So perfect. You know what, Canva, you tried. A for effort. I appreciate you trying to get yourself all like Google-ish, but it didn't work. Okay, it is downloading and I will show it like I usually do. We're rolling with it. We're rolling with it. Come on. Lord today. Okay, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. Da, da, da. Thank you guys for being patient with me for 2 seconds. Okay, now I think I can share the screen and you guys should be able to see this. Okay, here we go. We're going with it. It's Monday. We got this. Well, I'm just giving myself pep talks now at this point. All right, creating and using a list is what we're going to talk about tonight. But before we do that, I've got some recognition and just a couple of things that I want to touch upon before we dive into the meat and potatoes. So first of all, you guys, we posed a goal on the team page. If you missed that, if you missed out on sharing what you thought we should hit as a team, well, you are now part of the 50 crew because we decided that 50 lives could be changed in January with our team alone. There are, I think before I got off the screen, maybe I counted at least 10 of us on here right now in the ballpark. If every one of you, we've got 15 lives changed so far. If every one of you decided that you would help 3 people from now to the end of the month, and then, you know, just a couple other people who aren't on and catching the recording decided that they were going to help some people, we would hit our goal of 50 people. I personally have never helped 50 people by myself in 1 month. That's not to say there aren't coaches in the network doing that. I just am not one of those giant number coaches, and that's okay. But basically what I'm trying to tell you is I can't help 50 people by myself. It's a we thing. It's a team thing. And so far, as a team collectively, Kristen, Leah, Brittany, Ashley, I love seeing Ashley's name on this leaderboard because it's never been on here before. And she's not just at 2, but she's at 4. So close to hitting Success Club for the very first time. I'm super excited. Elizabeth, Jessica, Erin, Sarah, I love seeing these names on here. And these people are helping to change lives. Why not you too? So far we've got 15 lives changed. That means 35 more lives to go. I know that we can freaking do it before the month is over. Summit tickets are on sale. Again, they were on sale in October, and we did like a little team push, a little team initiative. They are now on sale once again. The ticket is only $155 through January. You guys, this is the lowest you're going to see it. That is $140 savings. Insane. You will not get this ticket for any cheaper. So if there's like anything on your heart right now that you're like, man, I'd love to be live in person with my teammates, just like breathing in all of this community in a live way, but also getting to do the workouts with the trainers and just being surrounded by other people who get it, who just like these at-home workouts just like you do, all these other crazy people. If you crave that, then you need to get to Summit, and your ticket is not going to be any cheaper, okay? So through January, $155, and anybody who purchases their ticket this month is going to be eligible to earn that decal that you see on my shaker cup right there. It says Team Inspire Beauty, custom made ones that we got for the last crew. And if you missed out on it last time, if you missed giving me your giving me your address last time, then those people will get back into the running because I'm going to put in a new order for that. Okay, so don't worry. I see you. I get you. But I'm doing a whole new See You at Summit initiative and just rally. And guys, look at the faces of all the people that you're going to see at Summit in July. This is July 11th. If somebody can get the dates like in the chat, that would be awesome because I'm going to totally butcher them. But I think it's 11th through the 13th or 14th, something like that. But these are all the faces who have already gotten their tickets, you guys. These are the ladies that you see on calls and in our challenge groups and on the team page. And you're just like, man, I see you on social media. I watch your story every day. It's like you're my BFF, but I've never even met you in person. And guess what? It's so cool and so awesome to finally meet each other live and in person. So all of these people, 16 people so far have purchased their ticket. Now, at the bottom, my heart was, if we could get to 20 by the end of January. Now, that's a bite-sized goal. Like, I didn't just blow out some monumental goal. Like, we need 30 people on our team to buy a ticket this month, and that's my goal. No, my goal is 4. And I just, like, if 4 people in January are like, you know what? I'm going to go. Like, I think that would be freaking rad. That would be 20 teammates all together in Indianapolis. And that's just as of January. We've got all the way till July to actually like figure out who the full roster is, but that puts us at 20 people. Okay. Ashley got her name on here because she yesterday already like freaking bit the bullet and bought her ticket. So Ashley is going to be there. And I'm looking for 3 more coaches. Now, does that mean that we can't have more than that? No, but my goal by the end of January is to get 3 more of our teammates. They can be my personally sponsored coaches. They could be your personally sponsored coaches. I just want to find 3 more of our tribe that says, you know what? I want to be there in person. I want to have dinner with you guys. I want to sit and grow and learn and sweat and just laugh and have so much freaking fun. And probably knowing you guys and me, cry a little too, right? Yeah, I know. Oh, did I miss it? No, that's it. Okay, that was all for my announcements. Cool. I guess I just feel like I busted through it that fast. Okay, we're going to learn tonight about creating and using a list. And I chatted about this in some way, shape, and form when I talked through follow-ups a couple months back. But I feel like we started the year off just talking about what it is we want to do this month, or not this month, this whole year. And how can we make that happen? How can we make 2019 our year? And we talked last week about the belief systems that you need to start to create within yourself. We talked about habits and we talked about consistency, but the underlying theme of all 3 of those categories was action. You have to do something. Right? We can't wish our way to an awesome 2019. We can't dream our way there. I could make every vision board. I could sit here all day long and just keep making vision board after vision board or like goal list after goal list. But until I actually like do something, none of that is even going to be possible. And so I want to break down the next couple Mondays. I just want to break down little bite-sized chunks of what that action looks like. Okay. So I know, I talk about this all the time, but our Success Club system tracker, it is in the files section of the team page if you have not printed it yet. But this is literally, guys, what every successful coach does consistently in order to eventually have success. You want to hit Success Club, you want to rank advance, you want to, have the accolades or whatever it is, right? Or you just want to have more community or more people in your challenge groups, or you just love the product and you want to share it so bad because it changed your life. These are the things you have to do in order to move that forward. But part of the issue that I had when I started coaching was I was just working willy-nilly. Like I was working in cracks of my day because I was at the time a full-time teacher and I was uber busy throughout. I had literally not a minute of the day like without something already scheduled into it. And so for me, I just worked in pockets, but I missed a lot of things in the beginning of my business because I never worked from a list. And I know one of the first things you're going to hear in team training is to create a list, like write a list of 100 people that you're going to invite and work off of a list and continue to add to the list and continue to update your list. But I was always really confused. Like, is it a paper list? Like, I don't, what do you mean a list? Like my Facebook friends list? Sometimes I just felt like I needed somebody to like physically walk me through that. So that's what I'm going to do with you guys tonight. But we're not just going to create this list, you guys. We have to use it. Okay, so that's why it's not just about let's create a list. I want you to also be able to use it. So let's talk why first. Making a list is crucial for growth in your business. It keeps you organized and on track when you sit down to work. I know there were so many times in my business where I would sit down to work and I'm like, I'd twiddle my thumbs like, what should I do now? Or I don't know who I'm going to invite today, but I know I'm supposed to invite 5 people today, but I don't really know, like, do I pull them out of thin air? Like, who are these people that I invite? So it helps me to stay on track. When I sit down, I don't have to like think like, who am I talking to today? My list tells me. You're going to forget. There's so many people that fell through the cracks in my business because I would reach out to them and I'd send them an invite. And then I never responded to them. It's funny, today I've been going through my Facebook stories because I've been recently adding, when you go to post something on Facebook, you can also simultaneously add it to your story. Like the option is there to do both. And I like sending it to my story as well, just so I can kind of see who's seeing it too. And so I've been sending those things to my story. And so today I was going through and I was clicking on different people who've been watching my story, and I was going to send them an invite based on that story. And it's so funny because there were so many women like that I maybe messaged, like the last time I messaged them was in 2015 or like February of 2017. That is way too long to go without sending them a message again, right? So many people have fallen through the cracks of my business, you guys, and I could just like if anything, I hope you learn from my mistake that having a system, the sooner you do it, the better, right? There are lots of different options, and I'll tell you, I've tried everything from paper and pencil, dry erase board. I've done programs. There's a program out there called Teamzy that you pay. Teamzy is a service. You pay them, and then they kind of keep your contacts managed for you, and then they tell you who to follow up with. I've tried their service before. I've tried everything under the sun, you guys, but the thing that works the best for me is my Google Doc. Okay, and that's what I'm going to teach you how to do today. And here's the deal. I don't want you to worry about backtracking. Like, well, Brittany, I've been having conversations for a full year now, and I didn't have this. Like, what do I do? You guys, I've been in this business for 5.5 years, and I just started doing this Google Doc like 6 months ago, and it's changed my freaking business. Like, changed it, transformed it. And I didn't go back 5+ years of conversations and try to put them in there. I just started where I was at on the day that I was like, okay, here I go. I'm starting from square one. And anybody that I needed to like add back in as I went, or like maybe fell through the cracks, then I could add them in as I figured it out. But I wasn't trying to backtrack. I'm just doing this to go forward, okay? So I'm going to show you this in a second, but my tracking system has these bullet points. Their name. A lot of times it'll be their Instagram handle until I actually know their real name. But typically in my tracking system, it'll be their Instagram handle or their Facebook name. And then I get their email. If I get their email, I have a space to fill it in there. Okay. The next column is where I am having the conversation, where I met them. So I'll either write IG, FB, email, maybe they emailed me. Or maybe I got like a form. They submitted a form, and so I have their email. Or maybe it was an in-person conversation. So I fill in where our conversation occurred so that I know where to go back to. This column, the next one, I say notes, but for a while I marked it as like what they were interested in. Like, were they interested in coaching, or maybe they reached out to me about Transform 20. But now I'm just keeping it as a running log of notes. So I'm even kind of adapting the system as I see fit for myself, okay? Keep in mind, like, you figure out what works for you. This is just like a guideline, okay? This next column, though, is so important. It's the follow-up date, and I'm going to show you that in a second. And then the final column is what to follow up with. So I write, like, if I'm going to, on the follow-up date, let's say I set the follow-up date for tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I need to see if they got my message. Hey, did you check out my message? I'm not sure if you saw it or not. Right? Because a lot of times imagine we're on the go all the time. I might see that somebody messaged me while I'm in the drive-through line, and I open my phone, and then all of a sudden the car in front of me pulls ahead, and I've got to pull ahead, and then I put my phone down, and I forget that you totally messaged me, and I meant to respond to you, but life just got going, right? So I always make sure, hey, did you happen to see my message? I know, like, things can get crazy busy, and I just didn't want to miss you. Right? So I'll send out a follow-up maybe 24 hours later, but that's an example. So I want to write what I'm going to say to them so that when it comes time to follow up with them, I'm not like, well, what do I say? I already know, I've got it in the column. So let me show you down here in a little example. So this is exactly what it looks like. I make it in Google Sheets, okay? And I started, you guys, with nothing here, and you can see like a lot of them are gonna be very similar because I have it in chronological, and I'll show you here in a second how I did that. But this is name, email, where we met, notes, follow-up date, follow-up with. That's it. That's how I track. I started this, you guys, like I said, about 5-6 months ago, and my conversation, my tracker started with 0 names on it, and there's over 300 now. So if you're like, if that's what you're stressed about, like, well, Brittany, there's all these conversations from before that I never tracked, just start where you are. Because 5 months down the road, 4 months later, at the end of March, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I've got like 200 names on my list, or I've got 100 names on my list, right? And you have all these people that you'll never lose track of because you're always gonna set a follow-up date. Let me stop share and hop over to my actual living, breathing thing. Google Chrome. Okay. So here it is. So again, name, email, where we met, notes, follow-up date, follow-up with. Okay. So let's say, and this is something obviously like when you learn something like this, you kind of will play with it a little bit, but all you do, you go to your Gmail, your Google, and you go into a drive, and you're going to create a new sheet. So I just make a new sheet. And then I'm able to fill in those columns just how we said, okay, with the titles at the top. And then you can start putting in the names. I'm going to delete or escape out of that though and just go back to the one that I have so I can show you. So right here, if I want to add a new name, let's say today I spoke to Susie Q and we met on Facebook, and I sent her a hey girl. Okay, cool. So I sent her a hey girl. I'm gonna go over this in a second. Okay, I friend requested Susie, and then I send her a hey girl message. I wanna type in when I'm gonna follow up. I don't want Susie to fall through the cracks. So I'm gonna follow up with her 2 weeks from today because I sent her the hey girl. I'm gonna love on her stuff. I'm gonna show you the system here in 2 seconds. I just wanna show you how I type it in really quick. So today's date is the 14th. 2 weeks out from today is the 28th. So I'm going to put 1-28-19. There's my follow-up date. And then I'm going to invite her. So now on the 28th of January, I am going to remember that now I need to invite Susie Q because that's what I set for the follow-up date, because I'm going through a process. I'm going to go through a process. Guys, the way I want you to see all the people in your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, they are all your potential customers, your potential coaches. That's who they are. This is your storefront, right? So if somebody walked into Target, they wouldn't feel bad about attempting to sell them something, right? Because they are now in Target, right? If you walk into Target, it is now expected that you're probably going to buy something, or maybe you're interested in what Target has to sell, right? Your Facebook and your Instagram are the exact same. If you're running this like a business, if you are showing up on social media to share your journey consistently, and your brand, like we've talked about, in the past, if your brand is consistent with the person you're trying to be, and you're not like sharing cat videos one day, but then talking about your workout the next day, and then talking about gun control over here, and then talking about the president over here, and then, okay, like back to my meal containers, right? Like you're not all over the place, but you're really focused on this is who I am, this is what I'm trying to teach you, this is how I'm trying to inspire you. If you're doing that, they're coming into your business. So they're gonna get an invite. That's the way I see it. If you are following me on social media, you know that this area is a place for self-care, and I have a sisterhood that you would love. I have a team that you would love, and so I'm going to invite you to that blessing. Okay, so you want to start seeing that everybody you add, especially from here forward, everybody you add into your wheelhouse becomes a potential client or a potential coach. And so you have to set when you're going to invite them. Otherwise, you're never going to do it. Okay, let me stop this share and go back to the presentation real quick. Now, if you're like, Brittany, there are people who like I'm friends with that like I don't really want to be friends with, or like that I would never invite to, I clean those people out. Now, there's not everybody is cleaned out. Like there are some family members or that, you know, like they're never going to join my group, like sweet grandma. She's not getting Shakeology, right? I'm not unfriending grandma. You know, there's some of like Charlie's relatives that like, you know, we're just on Facebook. They're the relatives. But in general, now when I'm adding people or accepting a friend request, I'm seeing, are they going to be a potential fit for this? If not, why are you coming in my store? Because this is like a place, right? And so you want to start really viewing your social media as a business, as a storefront. So here's my process. Number one, I friend request somebody or somebody follows me, okay? I put my phone to charge in the other room, so I can't grab it right now. But on Instagram, when you click on your followers, not who you're following, but on your followers, you'll see who like is, you'll see who's following you back on the right-hand side, right? So I'm able to see like if somebody decided to follow me back, I don't miss them because it'll show me right there that we have a mutual follow happening. So every day I look at who are my new followers. On Facebook, you guys, when you go to your friends list, you can see recently added, okay? Let me just give a quick little tutorial on that because I don't want to lose anybody on how we do that. So if I go to Facebook and I go to my friends, you can click on recently added. And these are all the people you've recently added. So let's say today you requested 20 different people on Facebook to be friends with. Tomorrow you can go back and see who added you as a friend. Okay, and then you can start going to their page, and this is where the system would start from. Okay, are you with me? Like, thumbs up, we're good, are we cool? Okay, so once I get somebody in my wheelhouse, then this is where the process starts at, okay? I'm gonna go to their profile. I do a 5-3-1 method, meaning I will like on 5 of their pictures, I will leave 3 comments, and I will give them 1 private message, okay? So 5-3-1. I'm gonna like 5 pictures, 3 comments. You can even like and comment on that, and then bam, like 2-for-1 deal, right? And then I send them a private message. This is the private message I send them. You guys know me, so there's probably emojis added in for, you know, just to enhance character. But I say, hey, name. I want to make sure I use their name, not hey, girl. Like these are hey, girls, right? That's what we traditionally will call this type of a message. We're just trying to get our feelers out there, let them know we see them, we appreciate them. But I don't like to just say, hey, girl, if I can use their name. There are some instances where they don't have their name on social media, and I can't quite figure out what the best name to say would be just based on their handle. So I'll just say, hey, sister. Right? But hey, name, thanks so much for adding me. Or you could say, thanks so much for following me. If it's Facebook, thanks so much for adding me as a friend. If it's Instagram, thanks so much for following me. I love meeting new friends on social media, and you seem super sweet. Anyways, sending good vibes your way today. Now I fill that in with like, you know, some hearts and emojis and whatever. But that's the basic idea of what I say. I might add in something in reference. Like today I saw somebody, she had this freaking dog video. Oh my word, I could have got stuck on it forever. Whenever they told the dog that they wanted to brush his teeth, he like did this thing with his face and like got so mad. It was the cutest thing I'd ever freaking seen in my life. And I said, I love meeting new friends on social media, and you seem super sweet. Plus, I can't stop watching that video of your dog with the toothbrushing. Anyways, sending good vibes your way today. So I personalize it a little bit, right? After I do the 5-3-1, by the time I'm ready for that private message, I've already liked 5 things. I've already sent given 3 comments on their pictures. My private message now, you guys, I want to make sure that I can fine tune it and cater it towards their profile, right? So I try to also mention, you seem super sweet, plus blah, 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 blah. Plus your vacation looked awesome. Plus you looked amazing in your dress. How long have you guys been married? You know, whatever, okay? It's just to send out good vibes to people. That's all this first message is. If somebody responds to you, that's awesome, okay? That is so awesome once they respond to you. That is when I would then put them on my list. Are you with me still? So I added a new friend. Like, we're going through a funnel. Friends on social media, okay? Love on their stuff. Like, be interested in them. That's the most important part of this, is you have to be interested in them. If your only goal is to sell them something, they're going to feel that right away. Okay, so love on them. Go through the 5-3-1 method. Send them a message. If they respond, add them to your contact list. Okay? This is where I would add Susie Q, Facebook, sent hey girl message, and then I'm going to put follow-up date for 2 weeks out from today, and I'm going to send him the first invite. This is my system. This is my system so no one falls through the cracks. Now you're like, Brittany, there's people that I'm already friends with on social media, so what do I do? Okay, let's go back. Let's figure out how to do this for people we already talked to on social media. Okay, go to your Facebook friends list. If there's somebody who you're like, I would love to have her in my challenge group, or I think she would love this team or whatever, go to her profile. Same thing. Love on her pics, 5-3-1 method. And then when you get to this hey girl message, hey Karen, instead of saying thanks so much for adding me, like obviously you guys maybe went to high school together or old college friends, or you know through some other way, through something in your past, right? Right there you'd say, how the heck have you been? That's, I always love to say, how the heck have you been? Especially if it's been a while. How the heck have you been? I have been loving on your pictures because, and then just say something, because you looked so incredible at your wedding. And then ask a question, right? How is everything? What have you been up to lately, right? So segue. So if it's somebody on your profile that you already, they're not new friend, but they're somebody that you're looking to invite and you're like, well, how do I get to that point? Same thing. Start by loving on their stuff. Send them a message acknowledging that you see them, that you love this or that about their life, and then move it along. If they respond to you, here we go. You're adding them to your contact list. You set the follow-up date for 2 weeks out, and you send the first invite, right? Are we getting it? It's a system, you guys. This is all a system. And the more that you follow this system daily, the easier it is. So the first time you do this, you guys, you're going to be like, this is taking me forever. I feel awkward. This is weird. Give it time, right? Like even today, Charlie was on his step for Transform 20, and he's like, he said something about like, man, I feel so out of balance when we only do the one side first. But this is the thing. I don't feel out of balance doing, you know how he does like all things on the right and then we go over and we do all things on the left? I don't feel as out of balance as I did on day one when I took the very first sample workout, because for the last month or so, we've been implementing these workouts. So I'm getting used to that balance issue, right? But Charlie didn't do all of the workouts with me all last month. So he's having to feel it out. And so it's the same thing. The very first time you put the loops on for 80-day obsession, didn't they roll up on you, right? So you got to feel stuff out. So this might be weird at the beginning, but don't give up, because that's the magic, you guys. If I had done this thing just in September, just in October, I was like, it's not working, I wouldn't be seeing the magic happening now, okay? This is an invite that I like to send. This is especially to somebody brand new or somebody who you have maybe never invited before and were intimidated to invite, because I love this line in here. I'm going to show it to you. It says, hey, and then try to put their name in there. I hope you're having an awesome week so far. Guys, I will also share these slides, like these pictures on the team page, but definitely save these somewhere, please, okay? Like these scripts. I hope you're having an awesome week so far. I just wanted to pop in. I hope I haven't been rude by not reaching out sooner. That's my like ease into this, because I'm letting them know like, oh my gosh, I've been so rude by not inviting you. Like I'm putting it on me that this was rude. You won't believe how many people are like, oh my gosh, you're not rude at all, you know? But it just shows some manners. Rather than me just assuming they need to be in my group, assuming they need to lose weight, assuming they have goals to work on. I don't want to make those assumptions, but I do want to acknowledge that I should have reached out sooner. Okay? I hope I haven't been rude by not reaching out sooner, but I'm prepping for a brand new 20-minute workout that we'll be doing this new year in my Self-Care Sisterhood. Anyways, not sure if you have a solid fit routine. I'm giving them an out, you guys. I don't know if they have a fitness routine. Maybe they love CrossFit. Maybe they are training for a marathon. I don't necessarily know this if they're not posting about it on social media, right? But I'm also giving that out there. I don't know if you have a solid fit routine, but if not, I'd love to share the deets with you. Would you be down to learn more? That's it. That's all I say. Bada boom, bada bing, right? So 2 weeks, my contact. So everybody today's the 14th, like everybody 2 weeks from now should be sending this message out. And you better freaking believe on Monday the 28th, I'm going to remind you all about this, that whole week. Because this week, you're going to be putting all these people into your contact list. And you're like, okay, I'm adding these people to my contact list, but I'm not hitting Success Club, Brittany. Like, what's the deal? It's not time yet. You're building connection. You have to do this. So many coaches come to me and they're like, Brittany, I rocked for this many months straight. I was doing so well. And now nobody wants to join my groups. And the problem is, while they were inviting people, they forgot to build connections. That's why this is a part of your tracker every day. For the first 20 minutes when you sit down is initiate connections and add followers. If you're not initiating connection, that's this right here. This is initiating connection and adding followers, right? Adding them to your tracker once you friend request them. Then where's your business going, right? You're not going to have one a couple months down the road. So you don't want to just ask everybody today, but also not build your network. You have to keep doing that. You have to keep doing that. Okay. Here's another invitation that I like to send out as well. And this might be for somebody who's not brand new to you, right? But maybe there's somebody who liked your stuff, or they're an old friend of yours, so they've been following you for a while. And it says, hey, I don't know if you saw how pumped I am to dive into my new workout program for 6 weeks, but I wanted to pop in and see if you'd want to do this together. If I hooked you up with a simple eating plan plus a quick and effective workout, would you be down to join our group so we can crush our goals together? Guys, and you don't have to be like, well, how am I going to hook them up with this stuff? You have Beachbody. Like the simple eating plan is right here. It's simple. The quick, effective workout is on their phone on Beachbody On Demand, right? That's all you have to get them. You just get the product into their hand, and then you support them to crush your goals together. Do you see how I'm doing this? So I'm also trying to not put the problem on them. I'm also trying to let them know that we do it together. And I want them to know that I'm doing this regardless. And I think that that's important. I tell them that I'm pumped to dive into a new workout program for 6 weeks, and I wanted to pop in and see if you'd want to do this together. Here's the deal. Let's say they say no, or they ghost me. Heaven forbid, right? It'll happen, trust me. But what's going to happen? So they say, no, Brittany, I don't want to join you. Or they don't even answer me. And then I go, oh, well, forget it. I'm not even going to do these 6 weeks then. Nobody wants to do this with me. Like, could you imagine? No. When people say no to me or people ghost me, you better freaking believe I'm going to show up for 6 weeks so they can see what they freaking missed out on. And then I'm going to follow up with them for round 2. So all the people that I don't hear back from about this, you want to know what I set for the follow-up date? 6 weeks from now when I have my after pictures. You know what I'm going to send them? My after pictures. And I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, this program changed my life. You should do this with me for round 2. But see, I have the confidence, right, thank you, Leah. I have the confidence for this because I show up. And so part of the belief, like we talked about belief last week, belief comes by showing up. So if you're like, Brittany, I lack a lot of confidence in saying these things, maybe it's because you haven't actually given it your all on a program, right? And so you've got to do that. Like you as the foundation are the most important thing in all of this, because there will be people that ghost you. There will be people that flat out tell you no, and they will still watch you, right? And that's why it's so important that you show up. Okay, I'm going to keep grooving. So we're at step 5. I just invited them. 2 weeks from now, I just invited them. So now what, Britt? What am I going to do now? Now I'm going to go back to my notes section. You don't have to delete anything in your notes. You could just keep a running long tab. But in the notes section, I'm going to put sent first invite, something to that effect. And then I'm going to send the follow-up for 24 to 48 hours later. So it just depends on my mood, honestly, or it depends on the time of year, if there's a holiday or if it's like the weekend coming up or whatever it is. But anywhere from like 24 to 48 hours later, I'm going to set the follow-up. And in the follow-up notes, I'm going to delete what it said because it said invite. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to type, did you see my message? So that 24 hours later, when I look at who I have to talk to, I say, okay, I have to message Susie Q. What am I going to ask her? I'm going to ask her if she saw my message. And then I send the follow-up. Do you see how this is going to make me work a lot faster? Things are not going to be as complicated because when you get into your tracker, when you have this list, this running list that you're working from, you'll be able to just bust these things out. Now, you guys, I get it. I'm paper and pencil to the max. I get it. But that, I could pull out notebook upon notebook upon notebook where people have fallen through the cracks, or I have to keep going back through pages. Like, who did I invite in February of 2016? Maybe they're ready now. Like, that's just a lot. This is so much more effective and efficient. Let me stop share really quick, and I'm going to show you exactly what I just said in step 5 on my actual tracker. Ooh, nope, totally went to the wrong thing. Okay, so let's get back to Susie Q. We see Susie Q here? Susie Q, sent her a hey girl. Now, remember, here's the 28th. January 28th comes up. My tracker is telling me I need to invite her, so I bite the bullet. I send the script that Brittany gave me. I stick pretty much to the script, maybe make it sound a little more like me, but in general, it's the same thing, okay? And so I'm gonna put sent first invite. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to change the follow-up date. How do I change it? I double-click, and a calendar will pop up. And I want to set it for 24 to 48 hours later, so we're going to be bold and message her in 24 hours. And I'm going to delete this. I'm going to say, did you see my message? And it auto-populates because there's ones down here that say it as well. You see it down here? So it'll start to auto-populate some of the things that you say. And so on the 29th, when I sit down to work and I get to Susie Q, I say, oh, I've got to ask her if she saw my message. How do I organize this so that I know who I'm talking to each day? This rectangle here in the corner, you guys, this empty rectangle in between the 1 and the numbers and the letters, if you click on that, it will highlight everything. And then all I go is to data, and I want to sort my data. So I go to sort range, and then there's a pop-up that comes up. This is very important, because my data has a header, meaning like the titles that I put along the top, name, email, it's a header. So my data, I want to sort it by the title, by the header. So I'm going to click that it has a header, and then all of my headers, my titles pop up here. And so I'm going to pull down, and I'm going to go to follow up date. Every morning when I sit down to my computer, you guys, that's what I do. I open my sheet up, and I click that rectangle in the corner to highlight everything. I go to data and I sort range, and then I sort it by follow-up date. Bada boom, bada bing. Tomorrow when I sit down to work, here's everybody on January 15th that I need to talk to. When I get to Life of Genevieve, I'm going to ask her if she got my message. For these people, I'm simply going to love on their stuff. I want to send them encouragement and empowerment and connect with them. Here, I've got a follow-up I need to send this person, a follow-up on coaching. This person, this person, this person, I need to circle back because a month ago they weren't ready, and so now I'm going to circle back 1 month later. You see how quick this is going to be for me when I sit down to work? This is why this system works so freaking well. So again, click the rectangle, data, you sort it. It has a header because we want to sort by the title, and I find the title follow-up date, and I'm going to sort, okay? I messed that up like about a bajillion times when I first started that, you guys. I was sorting it, I don't know how, and so I had to figure that out. But trust me, you can do it. Okay, so that was number 5. I showed you how to do that. And then when the 24 to 48 hours comes up, we send a follow-up. And it can be as simple as this, guys. Hey, girl, not sure if you saw my last message. I usually put like a top emoji, like an arrow, because I want to point up to it. I know IG can get super cluttered, but if an accountability group like this isn't your thing right now, no worries at all. I'm giving them an out. Like, it's all good. If this isn't your thing, it's all good. Just tell me. I'd love to invite you to. Would you be down? This is one version I do. One version I do is that I'll invite them to a free group. Like when I was hosting the Pumpkin Everything Challenge, I said, this might not be your thing right now. No worries at all. I'd love to invite you, though, to my free Pumpkin Everything Challenge. Would you be down to join that group? Or when I did Planks and Thanks for Thanksgiving, I'd love to invite you to my free Planks and Thanks group. Would you be down for that? And then this gives somebody an easier, like, I don't want to invest in her. I don't want her to sell me something, but I see that she just wants to, like, love me and share stuff with me. So that's where having free stuff, and we're not going to get into that tonight, but that's where having that is really helpful. Another thing I've been saying to people, you guys, you don't even have to have a free group running, but a free resource. And it doesn't even have to be, you don't have to have a blog, you don't have to like write all this stuff. It could literally be your favorite recipe that's on, you know, Beachbody blog right now. Hey, not sure if you saw my last message. I know Instagram can get super cluttered, but if an accountability group like this isn't your thing right now, no worries at all. And then I just say one of my, and then I just put a PS, and I'll say, PS, my favorite recipe that I've been enjoying lately is this, and I just wanted to share it with you. And I'll share that recipe with them. Super easy. But I'm giving them value. Whenever I send that follow-up, I want to give them value. I don't just want to be like, are you in? Because, you know, I know a lot of times we think we're bothering people, right? I don't want to bother somebody when I'm following up. I don't think I'm bothering somebody by giving them an out, by asking if they saw my message, first of all, by giving them an out, saying if this isn't your thing right now, no worries. And then also by giving them my favorite recipe, my favorite smoothie bowl recipe. At holiday time, I gave them a gingerbread like cookie dough ball recipe. Right now, I'm giving them a Greek wrap from my blog. I'm just giving them something. Hey, by the way, if you're looking for like a quick meal on a weeknight or quick lunch to make for the family, here's my favorite Greek wrap. And I give them the link, and I leave it at that. Okay. So then the next thing you do is you either add them to your free group if that's what you invited them to, and they're like, oh, totally cool. You could add them to that, give them the resource, like I said, give them a blog or a recipe or whatever, or set the follow-up just to love on them. So you saw on some of my follow-ups it just says love on stuff. That's because maybe they didn't answer me. I invited them and they never answered me, so I'm going to go love on them. I'm just going to keep freaking loving them until they're ready to join me. Wash, rinse, repeat. Guys, that's it. That's all I do. Wash, rinse, and repeat. But the names are there, so nobody ever falls through the cracks. And it takes you 2 minutes, you guys, at the end of the day to go back and plug in. Like if you have all your conversations on the go, like let's say you do it on your lunch break, when you get home, set aside 10 to 15 minutes to sit down and translate all of that into this sheet, and it will make your life so much easier the next day, okay? So homework for you guys. I want you to set up your Google Sheet. I want you to try. Set it up if you've never set it up. Some of you, I know you set it up with me back in the fall when I first taught this, and I would put some money on it that maybe some of you didn't keep up with it. And yeah, guilty, Leah. I can only see Leah's hand right now, so there's others of you who might be raising your hand, not just trying to shame Leah. I just can't see you guys right now. But guys, I taught this in the fall, and if you haven't kept up with it, man, like where are your conversations, right? Start up with it and make this a discipline. Make this tracking. If you're reading The Compound Effect, you know how important tracking is. So commit to tracking these new friends, these hey girls, your invites. And I triple freaking dog dare you to commit to doing it for the next 3 weeks of the month. And just see what happens. If at the end of the month you're like, that didn't help me work any faster, or that didn't take any stress off my plate, or I didn't get any success. Like if there's no success from it, then we can figure out a new system for you. But I triple freaking dog dare you to consistently do it from today all the way to the end of January and see if it helps you. Base your tracking, like I said, off of this business activity tracker that I shared with you at the beginning to stay on par with the activities that generate business activity, right? So the things I put in my tracker, those are people that I'm not just having like conversations with to never have an end point. There is always an end goal in mind, right? So either get them in challenge group, or get them on the team. One last thing I forgot to mention, you guys, is that when somebody does purchase a challenge pack or something, why is this so? Once somebody does purchase something, I highlight that whole section a certain color so that I know that they're a customer of mine now, right? So I go through and I highlight it. And then I set follow-up dates accordingly. So if it's a new coach, maybe I set a follow-up date to check in on them for a getting started right call. Or maybe if it's a new customer, maybe I set a follow-up date for like 5 days out to see if their shipment came in yet, or to give them a Shakeology recipe, right? So that I can make sure they're making their shakes properly. So once they become a customer, or a coach, I adjust the follow-up based on how I would love on my customers, my coaches, okay? I'm going to read through some of these really quick. If you guys need to unmute and ask questions, please go for it. Oh, there's lots. Okay. I am literally sweating right now, you guys. Self-care, Mary, yes. And I know you needed some rest because of your, are you feeling better, Mary? You lying to me? I think she's lying. Oh, Heather, you rocked at being a mom. I love it. She probably does want something. You're right. She's got to butter you up first. Meal planned yesterday and shopped and prepped today and stuck to the plan today. I love it, Leia. How many people stuck to their plan today for Transform 20? Yeah, give it up, give it up. One down, guys. Right? Check. Yay, this is great. You're blocked from liking on Instagram. What does that mean? How did you get blocked from liking?
No idea.
You can't double tap?
When I do, a little thing comes up and tells me that it's, hold on, I'll show you. So, okay, here's Shantae's thing. So if I like it.
Action, what does that say, blocked?
Uh-huh.
And then what is, I can't read that fine print.
Based on previous use of this feature, your account has been temporarily blocked from taking this action. The block will expire on 2/19/114. We restrict certain content actions to protect our community.
Did you like too much?
I didn't think I did. I was going through and commenting on people that like my stuff. So, I don't know.
Will. And you know what? Goals, guys. Hashtag goals. Like, you want to be like Natalie, because that means that you probably do, Natalie, have way too much action happening that they're like, yeah.
But isn't that kindness? I mean, they're making her wait a month. That's 4 weeks.
No.
You said 2/14/19?
1.
Oh, 1/14/19. I'm sorry. I thought I heard
so
2.
Just through today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Control Z is your best friend. I love that, Mary. Pro tip. You know what my best friend is Commander. Well, I don't know if it's Command or Control. Are you on a Mac or a?
I'm on a PC, but I think for Macs it's Command.
Yeah. So Command on Mac, Control, but F. And that one is the search bar comes up. So if I want to search for someone's name, like, what was the last thing I said to her? She's watched my story today. Like, do I need to invite her yet? And I need to search. It's the Command or the Control F, and then a search bar pops up. That's my favorite.
That's a good one.
I love undo, though. That's always important. Yep. Didn't keep up with it because I was overwhelmed as to when to add them in the process. And you know what? That's the thing, though. Find what works for you. Like, if it's overwhelming because you're adding too many people, like when I add people on Instagram as followers, I don't necessarily add them to my thing until they follow me back. So it's not overwhelming. Now, what would be overwhelming for me, you guys, is if I try to do at least 100 follows a day. That doesn't mean they're all following me back, though. So if I went through and took those 100 names and put them in my thing, that would be overwhelming for me. Really overwhelming. Right? I can't work with those big numbers. But what's not overwhelming is the next day. So I did my 100 follows today. Tomorrow I go back and I see who followed me back on when I click on my followers. I can see who followed me back, and then I can add their name. And that's when I can then go love on their stuff. Right? So it maybe in the first moment, don't add them to the list just yet, Kristen. Yeah? And if you are working with overwhelming numbers on the top end of things like that, then it's not going to be sustainable going forward. And I think Natalie spoke about this before too, with how many people she was trying to invite. It became overwhelming because the follow-ups became overwhelming. So if like 20 people a day is too much to invite for you, because then the next day of 20 invites plus 20 follow-ups is too much, then you got to break it down. Okay, I'm truly going to invite 5 quality people today. So tomorrow I can follow up with those 5 people and invite 5 new ones, follow up, invite. You know what I mean? So, because imagine it's going to snowball. day one, you're like, this is easy. I had so many people in my thing. But then day 2, day 3, day 4, when it starts to snowball, it becomes out of control. So yes, you've got to find what works for you, but don't stop adding to the list, because this is so much more helpful to know who we're talking to. Kept overthinking it. Yes, guys, stop. All of you, stop with the overthinking and making it harder than it is. Seems to be a strength of yours. Okay, no. Oh, y'all. God give me strength. No, you guys are good. I get it though. Which is why I wish I would have had a coach smack me around a little bit and be like, Brittany, you're making it harder than it is. Stop overcomplicating it. At the end of the day, you guys, friend request somebody. If they add you, you put them in your tracker, but you got to keep up with it. If you wait 2 weeks to be like, oh, I wonder if Susie accepted my friend request. Well, that's just too dang long. You got to keep up with it, right? Yes, you guys, you make me. Well, no, it's this dang ring light. It's making me sweat really hard right now. It's like beams. Anywho. All right, guys. Any questions on any of that before we unplug? We are going to be talking a lot more about inviting and about expanding your network and all that stuff throughout the rest of this month, because I do think that those are really important key components. But if any of this, you're like, I'm so confused, Brittany, you need to be in Coach University. You need to be in there, because these are the kinds of things that we reinforce and we talk about all the time. And you just get added practice at it, right? So just check that out. Make sure if you're not in there that you chat with me and get yourself plugged in. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for spending an hour with me tonight to grow in your business. I love you all. Heather, talk to your husband. See about Summit. We want to see you there. I'm doing peer pressure right now. Tiff, you're not at Summit yet. Yep. There we go. I'm going to do more peer pressure. Oh wait, I need to do a picture before we go. Sorry. See, I told you I'm all over the place today. I don't know why. But I do want to see you guys, all of you guys at Summit, and your coaches too. Talk to your downline as well, you guys. Okay. Uh-oh, why is my screen weird? What the heck? Okay, whatever. All right. Fix your face. Sit up straight. Look like you care. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, cheese! Yay, thanks, ladies. Have a fabulous evening.